Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Peno channel, where today we're going to be discussing our team of the season so far. But before you do that, and before we get into the video, can you like, comment, subscribe to the channel, share it with friends, Villa fans, non-Villa fans, and let's try and push up all the audience on this channel. I'm joining my brother Peno today. How you doing, bro?
Yeah, good. Thanks for roles reverse here. You're leading the stream off. Can't wait for this. It's going to be a fun conversation. A few positions to discuss and debate, and yeah, we'll see what we come up with at the end.
Yeah, I got a newfound respect for you, man, because you make the intros look effortless. So fair play.
You done good. You done good.
I don't know
Set the
why.
tone. You
Okay,
set the
then yeah.
tone.
So team of the season so far. There's only been 12 games in the Prem. Small sample size, but I thought, it's international break. It's something fun to do. We can see where everyone's at, and we might see some Villa players because Villa have been doing well this season. Yeah. Where should we start with the goalkeeper?
Yeah, we'll go goalkeeper. Who's chucking out names then? Who do you want to go
I'll let
first?
you. I'll let you go first with the name. Who do you think? Who do you think's the guy? Before you say who you think the guy, who do you think the honourable mentions are?
Yeah, I'm going to go through them and before we come to one. But yeah, there's a few keepers I think have had good starts to the season. We're further away into the season now. Firstly, shout out Sam Johnston and Nick Pope. They're currently top of the clean sheets for goalkeepers in the Premier League. So Sam Johnston at Crystal Palace, Nick Pope at Newcastle. Two English goalkeepers as well. Nick Pope's quite unfortunate these days to not find himself in the England squad, but Sam Johnston's there now, along with Aaron Ramsdale and Jordan Pickford. Yeah, I think when I've watched Newcastle, I know they've had a lot of injuries, but with Newcastle, when they're fully fit, the majority of the time, they've got a strong defence. And especially against not probably the top 6, top 7 teams, but against the other teams, they rarely concede. And Nick Pope's a big part of that. Also, Sam Johnston, Crystal Palace defence have been good in parts. And when Crystal Palace get a result, usually they keep clean sheet. Not just Sam Johnston, we'll go to some of the players later, but he's a big part of that. So I want to shout out those two. Also, shout out Kaminski, the Luton goalkeeper. We've witnessed in this season, made a ridiculous save from Ollie Watkins at Villa Park. Double save, actually. You'd like to know that he goal prevention, he's the highest currently. I think he's prevented +4 on the XG, so he should have conceded 4 more. So he's the highest goalkeeper with that. Luton are bound to face a lot of shots, and he's been strong and kept a lot of shots out and made some crucial saves for them. And the Liverpool game being one of them, Nottingham Forest game, and also Everton away. Big games where they've got big points from, and he was crucial in that. So yeah, I want to shout him out. But I think the two big ones to look at and go forward are Vicario and Alisson for me.
I think those two are the two that have stood out the most, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
we got to have a little word on Martinez. I know that he won the Yashin Trophy, and he's officially the best goalkeeper in the world on the metrics. But I think, as much as we love him, I think them two have probably been better than him this season. But big up Martinez, because he's still elite.
Yeah, Martinez played well in most aspects, but I think clean sheets stack up as well. And I know some of them have been, like the Luton goal.
Yeah, recently, just
the
like
Joe Bowen goal as well. They've been haphazard.
The Forest goal, bro, like
there's been jokes, yeah. But I think the other two are just up there currently. And
Vicario stood out to me the most. That Chelsea away game, like for you to be able to concede 4 goals and come away with people praising your performance, like you must have been doing a mad thing. Genuinely, like he was coming out off his line, he was patrolling, because obviously they still played the high line. He was patrolling that area behind the defense, and yeah, man, it could have been way worse if not for Vicario. He's a good shot stopper. He's good with his feet, and I think them like kind of got a bargain after moving on. He's still there, but like Lloris being taken out the front row.
Didn't he come for Empoli? It's Empoli came from.
He was one of them Serie A teams. It might have been Empoli. I don't think
he was. No, I think it was around 17 million or something like that. And I think he had like goal prevention. He was the highest rated goalkeeper, wasn't he, last season? I think from Serie A. So he came with a lot of promise, but he kind of went a bit under the radar considering the other signing Spurs made, and he's probably one of their standouts.
I think Italy fans might be saying like, Donnarumma might need to like watch his back a bit, man, because Vicario's cold. He's a top keeper. But is this our final choice? Is this who we're gonna go for? Because there's someone else that's been good this season.
Yeah, I think for me it's got to be Alisson. I think the goal prevention stats. I mean, Vicario is up on that, but I'm sure the Chelsea game had a big factor on that. He's 3.7 on the XG. Alisson's 2.6. But I just think all-round goalkeeping, Alisson just pips him so far for Liverpool. Liverpool have been really strong at the back. I think they've only conceded 10 goals this season. I think they're close to like the second best defensive record. I think.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they stopped us from scoring, so they must be pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I think, and just all-round goalkeeping anyway. I think Alisson is up there.
So Alisson, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Alisson. Do you agree?
Yeah, I'm happy to go Alisson, man. He's just so good with his feet, Mr. Reliable. Liverpool got a good defense, like you said. Wow, he's made the defense look better because they should have conceded more than they have based on the shots they've faced. So yeah, his shot stopping's been good. Yeah, Alisson, man, happy with that one, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Okay, next position we're gonna move on to is left back. And me personally, I think the left back selection so far this season has been a bit lacking. Like I was just going through like the left backs in the Premier League season. I don't think there's too many standouts when like normally you'd associate with like fullbacks in the modern game being like a strong position. But yeah, left backs in the Premier League season, I don't even think there's like a sole standout where you just like, it's him. I think there's quite a lot.
I agree. First, I want to shout out Stupinian because he was going to be that at first, but he got an injury. He was flying at the start of the season for Brighton. Got injured, and then he hasn't even returned since, has he? I don't think. So,
well, I want to shout out Stupinian for putting it in the bottom corner for us, man. That was some finish at Villa Park earlier in the season.
It was indeed, yeah, definitely. So yeah, I think he would have been within a shout now. But the names I'm going to start with. Shout out for Ait-Nouri. I think he's been really good for Wolves this season.
He's so good on the ball.
He really is.
Technical dribbler, all that good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. Mikalenko's recently, he's been getting GA for Everton. He's been playing a lot better than I initially thought he was, to be honest. I didn't think he was that great last season. But yeah, he's having a decent season so far. Also, Gvardiol, huge amount of money that's been paid for him. Did have a poor game against Chelsea, but I think apart from that, he's been pretty solid this season. But my two, I think it's between Luca Digne and Udogie. That's who I think it is so far.
That's who you're going for, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those two. Let me know what you think, or you got any other left backs that you'd put in there?
I think my one, I want to. Fair play to Digne because he has improved from what we've seen last season. I still think that he can lack decision making in the final third sometimes that we miss with Moreno, but he's got his assists. He's been putting in crosses. Defensively, he's probably improved on his level from last season as well. So yeah, shout out Digne. Any other left backs? I'm trying to think. No, I think Udogie is my choice. I just think he's just slotted into that Ange philosophy so well. And he's another one that they got from Serie A, man. They brought him time back. He went on loan for one season. He's come back now. And yeah, man, I'm hoping that he's not fit for this Sunday when Villa play them because he's a top player. So,
yeah, I think he's. Do you not hold the red card against him though?
I know.
That's a big fact. He's missed He's missed. It's a big red card against Chelsea. That affected them, and he's missed another game which Spurs probably were looking to get at least a point from, and they ended up losing.
Yeah,
so
yeah, I hear that. I think it's a valid criticism, but I think even with that, there's another player that I'm going to look to select as well that also got a red card. But I just think the standard that they've been in other games, it's enough to overcome that, even though it's a good point. So yeah, Udogie's still my pick. He's been the glue for Tottenham. Him and Porro tucking into midfield. Like they're not even playing a traditional role of a fullback, which is so good to see as well. Like they're versatile like that. And I think, Udogie's a big loss for Spurs when they don't have him. So, yeah, he's my pick.
Okay, fair enough. Well, in the comments anyway, Digne or Dogi, put that down there because I
Yeah,
think
let us
Digne's
know.
numbers have been right up there as well from
Or
playing
any
left
other
back.
or any other left backs that you think are more deserving, man. Let us know in the comments. So who are we going for?
Yeah, go with Dogi. Go with Dogi.
Udogie.
We'll really see the test this weekend between those two.
Yeah, I think he was like a late fitness test. But yeah, Udogie, man. Can't lie, that team's he's looking all right still already. He just
What
started.
team, man?
Okay. Next, yeah. Next position, we're going to go left centre back.
Okay. As centre backs in general, I'm going to put them two together. I'm not too sure who's exactly left centre back. I know the majority, but I'm not bang on who's who.
You're not sure with the nuance and that. I hear
I
you.
think yeah. So my centre back list. Who did I want to give some shout out to? So I'm going to take them as a two, and I just want to shout out some centre backs that I've witnessed this season, and I think are really playing really well and to a really high standard. Joachim Andersen, I think, has been great this season so far. Pivotal in their win at Old Trafford. Palace have a really good defensive record, kept 5 clean sheets, and I think Joachim Andersen's imperative within that. You know, they've had some injuries up top, so they've had to be tighter at the back, and I think he's proved vital for them along with Mark Gay. Christian Romero, until his head loss against Chelsea, I think he's had a really good season so far.
See, Romero's a funny one with me because, just to say quickly, he's passing out the back. He's so good, but his head goes. He can't control himself, can't control his emotions.
I agree.
You always got that liability side, but he's passing out the back. He's so crisp. It's so good. So yeah, man, he's a funny profile. He is.
Yeah, I think he's definitely worth a shout out. But again, yeah, his temperament's poor. Also, Ezri Konsa and Pau Torres have got to be talked about. Ezri Konsa has been superb this season so far. Really, with the loss of Mings, maybe some thought he might slip down, but I think he's been quality. And Pau Torres is, most progressive yards out of any player in the Premier League this season so far. He literally conducts how Villa play. I think it's 3,000 yards plus. So Pau Torres is right up there. His passing ability, I ain't seen anything like it at Villa Park from a centre back. So yeah, shout out to those two. Also, I want to give Murillo a shout out from Nottingham Forest, and he's one that's gone under the radar. Quality centre back, very composed on the ball. Yeah, and he looks a really good signing for.
He's just like them Brazilians that just got that natural technique, and they just look so comfy on the ball. Like he's probably could play midfield if he wanted to for like a brief spell of games. Like he's that good.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's Murillo's called.
Yeah. But yeah, there was 3.
I'm gonna shout out just one more player as well who I think's been really good and under the radar. Nathan Collins at Brentford.
Yeah.
Genuinely,
even Ethan Pinnock's been decent as well.
Ethan Pinnock, yeah, but Ethan Pinnock's been cold as well and been really good. But Collins, so comfortable on the ball. I still can't believe Wolves let him go, to be honest. I know they had Dawson, but long term, I think Collins is a better player. I think he's better on the ball. I think he's got more room to grow into his football. I mean, he's only 22, plays for Ireland. And yeah, Kilman and Collins was a solid partnership that he used to have, but Wolves' last Brentford game, I think Collins has been proper under the radar, man. Solid player. And he's getting like goals and assists as well.
Yeah, definitely. I think Collins is a good player. Had a few sticky moments at Wolves last season, for sure. He wasn't as competent as he can be, but yeah, I think he's a good signing for Brentford, especially they've been without Ben Mee, who was integral last year. So yeah, decent signing. But yeah, I think there's 3 we can go between and pick 2 out of them. For me, the 3 are Van der Ven, Saliba, and Van Dijk, and you select 2 from there.
Yeah.
I think Van der Ven, I think he's more surprised everyone how good he is. I mean, I knew he was rapid, but I didn't know he was that good defensively as well and on the ball. So he really surprised me with how well he's settled in and integrated into that Spurs side. And I know I mentioned Romero, but I think he's been more integral. Van Dijk looks back to Virgil van Dijk. Had a poor season by his standards last season. Some doubted him, but he started this third of the season with quality and just playing like how he used to play all those other seasons. And Saliba's looking like he's going to be one of the best centre backs in the world at some point in his career.
Yeah, Van Dijk's a mad one because 1 point last season and the season before, people were like, "Oh my God, what's happened to Virgil?" Like that's the kind of thing he was dealing with from fans, like opposition fans. And now his passing's good. He looks comfortable on the ball. It's not easy to come back from that type of injury that he sustained when he crashed into Pickford. So yeah, man, big up Van Dijk because he looks good this season. He looks solid, and especially his passing out the back, so composed, doesn't look rushed. And I think he's been top 2 centre back in the league this season.
Yeah, so do I. Yeah, I think it's Van Dijk and Saliba, Van de Ven. I have to go Saliba. I think he's been
I'll go Saliba as well.
Yeah, I think he's been outstanding for Arsenal. And we saw what happened when last season when he was absent. They capitulated, and there's a reason why. I think he was that reason. Once he got injured,
I mean,
Arsenal
them lot were blaming their whole season on like Rob Holding. So like that's how you know Saliba was missed. That level in drop off when Saliba's not in the team is massive for Arsenal. It's actually insane how big that drop off is. I personally think Saliba's the best defender in the league.
Yeah, I don't think I think it's starting to become a non-argument now. Arsenal have the best defensive record in the league. They've had troubles with the keeper. Well, not troubles, but they've been swapping their keepers. You know, they've had to switch a keeper midway through the first 12 games already, which is very rare. So they've had to get used to how David Raya plays and still have the best defensive record in the league. I think
they don't give up chances. They do not give up big chances. It's quite impressive, to be fair.
Yeah,
I think it's like they're averaging less than 1 XG per game in terms of like the quality of chance they give up.
Yeah, they may be suffering at the other end, but defensively, Arsenal have been the best defensive side in the league.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's Saliba and Van Dijk for me. No, Ruben Dias.
Ruben Dias is another good shout, another great player. But now I think these two have been
just been stood out, haven't they? Yeah.
Saliba. Yeah, man, I'm happy with this so far. This is looking strong. Okay, right backs. Complete our back four.
I don't feel like there's been too many right backs that have stood out. You have Kyle Walker. You know, Kyle Walker's always going to be up there just because of how good he is, but I don't think he's been a standout right back. I saw Raheem Sterling cooking him last week as well. Really cooked him, good and proper. So I don't think he's been the best right back so far.
Cash? Any words on Cash?
Cash is up there. Cash is up there. Cash has really impressed me, considering what level I thought he was going to be this season compared to last season.
He's been much improved, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to remember he was dropped at one point. Cash was last season. It was Ashley Young who was playing right back. So yeah,
his underlying numbers. They're all right. His underlying numbers, they're better than what they were last season. Therefore,
for sure. Now we play sometimes in a free. When Kamara drops back, he's allowed to get forward more. And, you know, he's had good XG numbers. He scored a brace against Burnley. He's had some really big chances as well through this season in various games. The Newcastle one. He had the Wolves. He had a big chance. There's a few games where he's been getting into those areas.
Still can be a bit limited, probably dribbling 1v1 or taking on his man. It's probably something that would still need to be improved on in his game. But he's an athlete. He can get up and down the pitch. Defensively, I think he's improved 1v1. So yeah, big up Cash, man. Cash has improved on his performance last season, big time. But he's not gonna be my choice.
No, I think I want to shout out Pedro Porro as well because I thought he had a stinker last year, and he's come back in and he's played well. He's played his part for Spurs. And again, as you said with Udogie, they don't really play as fullbacks. They play through the middle in between. You know, you have like a back two, and then they play just in front of them, even sometimes higher than the centre mids.
Yeah,
they've been really getting forward, Pedro Porro and Udogie. And Pedro Porro, I don't think he's been to the same level as Udogie, but he's been good. So yeah, shout out him. But I think there's only one. I think struggled first couple of games possibly, but that might have been well after they beat us
Right, not
5-1.
the
I think
first
they
game.
struggled. Yeah, they struggled defensively the next few games. But then they got it clicking. Even with injuries, he's still been standing out. I think it's 6 of 6 so far this season from right back. It's got to be Kieran Trippier, who's the right back so far for me. What are your thoughts?
Yeah. Third highest expected assists in the league. Newcastle have 26 goals this season, I think, which is just 27 goals this season, sorry, which is just ridiculous. And that puts them third highest in the league as well. Trippier is central to all that. His right foot's a wand. His set piece delivery is crucial to how they play as well. Yeah, he's carried on his form from last season. He's actually a joke of a player. How good Trippier is, to be honest. And Newcastle have had defensive issues this season as well, but he's been a mainstay and yeah, just such a creative demon. He's kind of taken over. You know, he's kind of taken over the narrative of what Trent used to be described as.
He is.
Who's the right back that creates? Who's the right back that creates so many chances? It's Trippier's the guy you think of more than Trent nowadays. I think this season anyway. That might be recency bias, but
last season as well. Who's Trippier?
Yeah.
Trippier for the majority last season was the creative right back, the most creative right back in the league. Trippier's still underrated for me. I think for sure. But yeah, he seems to be back at it for Newcastle, and he's probably their most important player, just because of his set piece ability and his leadership qualities, and he marshals that defense, especially now they've been missing Botman for so long.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely Trippier. Yes, T1.
Taiwan Hamilton says popping in to give you guys some love and appreciate the love always, man. Thank you for that. Yeah, man.
Yes,
Trippier. I think it's mad. Look at us getting along, man. What's going
on? Actually spot on so far. You actually agree with me? I don't think that will go on a bit later.
Man, like Kieran Trippier. Yeah, I think that's a solid. I don't think you can really argue with that back four. I know I'm being biased, but that is solid.
It's good. I think Van der Ven will be the only one really that people might.
Yeah. And I forgot to say about his pace is actually ridiculous. I hope it isn't damaged long time now after the injury, because his recovery pace is just a joke. Okay, next position. We're getting through this nicely, to be fair. Next position, defensive.
Are we going to do next position D mid, or are we going to do 3 midfielders?
No, we'll go. Ooh. I think because of the different roles, I think we go D mid, and then let's just go. There's 2 CMs after.
All right. So I think there's only 2 players for D mid, to be honest, who've shone out. It's Rodri or Declan Rice. I might just say Declan Rice because Rodri was suspended. That might just give Rice for the availability.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think they've been neck and neck this season. They've both been so good. And you've seen the City dropped off and Rodri wasn't there when he was back.
That's a good point.
That's
a good point. Like if I always say with players, like if you get taken out of the team and the performance levels drop, this is City we're talking about as well, having an abundance of talents, and they were still not picking up results. Yeah. And like they deservedly, they didn't create nothing against Wolves. I think that's the game that he missed. I think he missed another game as well. And yeah, man. Rodri.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's come close to those 2 levels. The levels of those 2. I want to say Rodri. I do want to say Rodri though. I just think like he just when he's playing and City need him, he's just that guy, and he's done it again this season so far. He's just been that guy.
Okay. This is where I think.
But then Declan Rice had that moment as well against who was it? He scored the last-minute goal against from the corner. Is that against United?
Yeah, massive game.
Yeah. So. Wow,
scored the equaliser. Helped him get back in the game against Chelsea as well. If you remember that goal from the halfway line, that was
yeah, I do. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna give Declan Rice. I'm gonna build my case for Declan Rice.
Go on,
Firstly, to come in for that type of value, the amount of pressure at a club like Arsenal is ridiculous. He hasn't experienced anything like this before. It's not like he was coming from another top six side. He was coming from West Ham, and I think he slotted into that system well. We spoke earlier about Arsenal conceding the lowest amount of chances.
Yeah.
Really, like, is there a reason for that? I think it's their defensive midfielder coming in. I think there's a reason their defense has improved drastically. Even if he hadn't come up with the big goals, I still think he's been sensational. But he's come up with the big goals against United, Chelsea. I think he's even got a couple assists in there as well. Demanding on the ball, passing quality, knows how to break play. He's an athlete as well. He's not a slow coach. He's got pace. Yeah, man. Rice. I think Rice has to be in the team of the season so far, and especially with what you said about Rodri. The thing about Rodri as well is, yes, I agree with Udogie. He was a bad tackle. I think Rodri's was even worse descent. Like, he started choking the guy. Like, that's just complete. That's just insane. That's just insane head loss. Like, you gotta be more composed than that. I hear the Udogie point. That's a bad tackle. I get it. But Rodri, you can't. Is he the captain as well?
Yeah. I don't think he's the captain.
Is it Walker?
Captain? Yeah, it's Cole Walker. He's Cole
Walker. Is it Walker or Rodri?
Yeah. No, it's Walker.
But yeah, you can't be doing that to Morgan Gibbs by other people in some throwaway game. We got another comment here. Steven, Rodri is that guy locked for the team. So he's on your side, man. He's saying Rodri's the guy. I've got to disagree. I think Rice has to be in this team, man. He's been so influential for Arsenal. A lot of their fans would say he's been there.
Yeah, but what, more than Saliba?
I think people would argue that, yeah. I think people would argue Rice, as good as they've both been, I think both of them have to be in the team. Especially if we're talking about Arsenal have the best defence in the league. They don't give up chances.
I hear that. Wow, it's both of them for sure. That's definite. But Rodri, but we've seen City when Rodri's not playing, they're not the same team at all.
I agree.
You get confidence when you play City when Rodri's not playing. When Rodri's playing, it's a wrap.
Well, let's do a thought experiment now. Let's just give. I agree with you. I agree with your argument. City was so bad without Rodri. Do we think we'd see a similar drop off? I know it's hypothetical, but if Rice was taking out the Arsenal team, I mean, who's their next guy? Partey's always injured. It will be Al Neni. Like, I think the drop off is a similar.
Yeah, I agree with the drop off. But even Rodri, I think the level of play though that City have, like, it shouldn't be a drop off, but it is. That's why I think Rodri's that high. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like the City squad is full of talent, but yet one player missing still drops them off. That's how levels he is. It's a time cost. I don't know. Both are valid.
I think
we'll give it Rice. We'll give it Rice because he's new to the team. He's new to the
team. With the price tag as well. The price tag.
Facts. I'll get facts for sure.
Another comment, Steven saying, "Why not both?" Oh, it's a good point. To be fair, like we're debating. I think that might.
This is what I said. This is what I said, bro.
This might be a bit too defensive.
Playing one DM.
Rice can go forward. That's a good point.
Right, yeah. Rice has been operating at the 8 sometimes as well.
What are we saying? Rice?
We'll go Rice. We'll go Rice.
Rice, baby. Okay, but shout out Rodri, man. He's a cool player. I know, I'll try and come up with a different adjective than cold. I think I must have said that loads already. But yeah, Rice.
Let's go with the conditions.
Rice. Got to look at that team. Yeah, exactly. This team's a draw. Okay, coming on to what I think is probably the funniest part of the team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Centre midfield. And what we're going to do in this section as well, we are going to include attacking midfielders traditionally as well. That can also feel can like play the centre midfield role. So just preface it with that.
Sure.
Island, do you want to read off a list of players it could be from?
There's a few names that I've made a note of. Okay, before we get right into the two, I think we'll have about 5, but then I want to give some other notable shout outs. So I think Matthias Jensen has to be a notable shout out.
Cold.
For sure.
Love him. Love him. This
Quality
guy
player, very underrated.
for me, this guy is the most underrated player in the Premier League. Nobody mentions this guy.
No
I
one.
get it.
Norgard as well. Norgard either.
Yeah.
I think they're both quality, yeah.
Well, Jensen especially, he's so good on the ball. I would not be surprised if he starts having interest.
He dictates the flow of that Brentford team. He dictates the flow of that Brentford team. Quality player, and he's got a long throw as well.
Let's just see Jensen's numbers this season. And while I'm doing that, any other players?
Another shout, Abdullah Doucouré. I think he's been carrying Everton this season. Yeah. And again, not being spoken about that highly. I think he's got, what's he up to now?
He's getting up there.
His GA's got to be right up there.
I mean,
yeah, every time Everton score, he's involved or he's playing his part. Yeah, Abdullah Doucouré has been quality for Everton so far. Sean Joyce has allowed him to play a bit more in that 10 role, hasn't he? Yeah. He's got 4 GA. But every time I see him playing for Everton, he's the one who's pushing them forward, and he's the the centerpiece of that side. And Everton have good XG numbers this year.
100% agree with the XG numbers, and just the position he's getting into, man. Like it's a skill when the rebound's there to tap it in. He did it against Palace. He's always been this type of attacking profile at Watford. Like I remember sometimes
he looks like Watford. The core, that's what I was thinking. Next Etienne Capoue, yeah.
But no one must be more gutted about that points deduction than him. Like all his hard work, just like imagine that. Just being 4. I've got how many goals and we've got 4 points? Are you mad? The one time I'm not falling up. Going back to Matthias Jensen. 3 goals, 2 assists in 12 games, 5 big chances created. His passing's always quality. He makes 2 tackles per game, 52 touches per game. He averages. He's so pivotal to that Brentford team.
Yeah.
And how old is he? How old is he now? He's 27, but still a perfect age for a midfielder, man. He's got so much Premier League experience now. I just don't get why this guy's so underrated. Like he has everything to his game. Like he's just mad.
Quality player, quality. Now Bernardo Silva, want to give a notable shout out as well. I think he's had a good start, been good this season, but it's Bernardo Silva's standard. So I know he's like, he can be like ridiculous at points. I don't think he's got ridiculous as yet, but because he's good anyway, I think Bernardo Silva does need a shout out. I think he's played well so far this season.
Has he played a lot this season though?
No, but when I've seen him witnessed him playing, he's been very good.
Yeah,
so I think Bernardo Silva up there. Right, so I'm gonna go 5 for these 2 positions.
5. Okay.
Yeah. Conor Gallagher 1.
Yeah.
He's
Do you want to just briefly talk about them each after you name them?
Okay. Conor Gallagher, I'll say, has been Chelsea's best midfielder this season by a mile. He's been their best midfielder.
I think it's hard to disagree with that.
Caicedo's come into his own a bit more the last few games. Enzo showed all the ability the first few games, but it's not been as fluid or clicking as much as recent times. For that Liverpool game, that was going to be it. That was going to set the tone for the rest of his season, but he hasn't been there. Caicedo seems to have settled a lot more, but had a horror debut and a few horrible games after that. But yeah, Conor Gallagher's been Chelsea's most consistent midfielder, and he's putting up some decent numbers as well. So yeah, I wanted to mention Conor Gallagher. But from there, I'm going to go Yves Bissouma.
Yeah, quality.
Been quality this season so far, but again, he's kind of tailed off the last few games, and now he's suspended.
I mean, he's another one that got a red. Well, he's had a red card, and now he's got 5 yellows as well.
Exactly. And he really could have landed Spurs in trouble in that Luton game because he needed a red card, and they got the 3 points in the end, but it couldn't have been that way. So, yeah. But he's receiving quality. He looks like the Brighton Bissouma again now, the way he's playing on the ball. Just more confident on the ball. Very fluid on the ball. Taking on his man in the middle of the park as well. He's shown Bissouma seems to have like Moussa Dembele qualities in that sense, with his the way he positioned himself on the ball and used his strength and his body to get out of certain scenarios. And he wasn't doing that last season, but I think he's been one of Spurs' best players so far. But I don't think he makes this.
Yeah, it's just crazy. Just another player that was linked with Aston Villa recently. I mean, like Kamara and Luiz are wonderful, but like you wouldn't have also been mad at Yves Bissouma, who's just
wow. Let me get onto the final three players that I have for you. Dominic Szoboszlai, Douglas Luiz, and James Maddison. So I don't think much has to be said for Douglas Luiz or James Maddison, to be honest. Szoboszlai has been quality as well for Liverpool. Again, a new signing in the summer in a midfield, which, you know, it's pretty much a new midfield three. Szoboszlai in there, McAllister, and then they alternate sometimes with Curtis Jones. I think Cody Gakpo in there, Harvey Elliott, Endo as well. So real rotation. Number of those are new signings. Ryan Gravenberch, another one. But Szoboszlai has been the one that's been standing out for Liverpool. Good numbers as well this season. Some few bangers as well. You know, that's a Szoboszlai tick list. If you're going to say something is a screamer, he's going to get one of those. So yeah, I think he's really integrated well into that Liverpool team without a recognised defensive midfielder. They've done well, and you know they've been really good defensively as well. So yeah, and I think he's been a good part of that. So yeah, Dominic Szoboszlai. But for me, the two I'm going to choose are James Maddison and Douglas Luiz. Do you want to go into those? Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I think.
Or have you got other names?
Anyone? Yeah, I'll shout out a couple of names. What players have I liked this season that have stood out for me a bit?
Bruno Fernandes.
From your list.
No Fernandes.
No Havertz in your list.
No, I'm being serious. No Bruno Fernandes.
Oh yeah. Bruno's underlying numbers are always good.
Yeah.
Thinking this with Bruno, sometimes I just think his IQ is so low on the ball in terms of like ball retention and making the right decision.
It's poor. It's poor.
But when the decision lands, like he creates chances. Like his expected assist numbers are always up there. And you do think sometimes if he was in a different team, if he was at Man City, let's just say, would the results be different in terms of the conversations around him and his end product? But yeah, Bruno, shout out Bruno, but he doesn't make my
James Ward-Prowse. That's another one.
Nah, not for me.
Not for you. Me. Good numbers.
A lot of the numbers are from set pieces. We know he's good at that, but in terms of general play,
set pieces are set pieces. Are we going to discount set pieces now?
I hear it, but I mean, like open play, I'd like more from him in that aspect. I don't think he's a particularly amazing athlete. If you're comparing it to like a Conor Gallagher in terms of on the ball, in terms of like breaking the lines in that sense. No, I don't think James Ward-Prowse would even go into my top. Will go into my top five really like that. Let me just think of if there's anyone else that's impressed me. Yeah, I think my top three to decide from are Maddison, Douglas Luiz, and Matthias Jensen. Genuinely, I just think this guy is
Matthias Jensen
so underrated. But I think I'm siding with you a bit. I think Maddison and Douglas Luiz. I mean, let's just. You said we didn't have to talk much about Luiz, but let's just do it anyway because it's.
Go on, break it down. Break it down.
I mean, this guy, he started every single game. He's only been taken off once. 5 goals, 1 assist, 1.3 expected assist, 3.22 XG. What's his big chances? 2 big chances created, 1.2 key passes per game, averaging 76 touches a game. Like that's just ridiculous. Like he's always on the ball. His intelligence is growing. His passing is amazing. We're just talking about someone that's getting closer and closer to world class for me. Just a couple more games. See where we end with the season, but yeah, you can see why there is interest in January. I mean, this guy's story is just remarkable from where he's come, the way he's developed. And you could argue not to like disrespect our previous. Well, don't mind disrespecting the last one.
Disrespecting
I disrespect the last one, but the one before. But you could argue this is the first time he's properly been coached in terms of spacing in midfield. In terms of where to set his body, in terms of when to release, when to go forward, when to track back and let other players go forward. Being called up to Brazil, deservedly. Hopefully we see him play against Argentina later tonight. yeah, Douglas Luiz, I'm going to put him in now, bro. I think
can't go in there.
he's got to be in there.
Levels, and he's at the levels last season and above at times. So got to be in there.
Oi, doggy. Let's hope that midfield doesn't come true at any point, by the way. But
yeah, I don't know why you put him in that position. Get him on the right. Get him on the right. Sinner too much.
You know what?
Left CM.
Nah, he needs to be done. Get him on.
Yeah,
get him on the right. We don't want to be accidentally manifesting any kind of foolishness. So, yeah, doggy man, Douglas Luiz, the real Brazilian, as Manny would say, man. Big up Manny Central. Well, yeah, man.
Yes, big up, man.
Final midfield spot.
It's got to be Madders, isn't it? It's got to be Madders.
Got to be Madders. The boy from Coventry, man. As much as he always rattles Villa fans or tries to rattle Villa fans, cupping his ears and that last season, you have to appreciate ballers.
Yeah, he's a
you have to appreciate ballers, man. He's a joke.
Absolute baller. Remember the Grealish Madders debate?
I know, like Grealish needs to fix something, man.
As Madders as he clawed himself back because he was in the trenches at one point. Last year he was in the trenches.
Listen, Grealish was on top of the mountain for a while, and Maddison's like he's you know what I mean? Like he's escalating up the mountain. He's got the rope, like he's doing his thing. I can't even lie. Maddison.
He's clawing. He's clawing his way back, isn't it? He's clawing his
Quick word on Madders. 11 games, 11 starts, 3 goals, 5 assists, 6 big chances created, 3.2 expected assists. Joke. Absolute joke. And Ange ball suits him so well. He's allowed to drift off to the left sometimes. He can come deep and receive, can play forward. He's a big... I'm sorry, but as a Villa fan, I'm happy we won't be seeing him this weekend, man, because Spurs are not as good of a team without their talisman. I think he's more of a talisman than Son. I think he's the main Spurs guy.
Oh, Maddison's the talisman now. Yeah, 100%. That's not. I don't even think that's debatable. Every game I've watched him, he's just dominated the game when he's been on the pitch. So, yeah, Maddis has to go in there. Yeah, solid.
What do you think of the team so far?
Solid. Happy with it.
It's looking strong.
Yeah.
Okay, on to the final three positions, man. The attackers, the goal scorers, who's playmaking, he's doing their stuff. We're gonna start off with what position do you want to start off with first?
Right wing.
Right wing.
Yeah.
Okay. Who are your right wingers that have impressed you so far this season?
I think one guy can feel harshly. I think one guy we can discuss whether he's right or left wing. I think one guy can feel very harshly done that is not in the right wing position. One guy I've put right wing, but he hasn't really been playing there. But yeah, so firstly, because I don't think he's going to get a shout out, I want to shout out Mr. Diaby because he's been playing as a second striker, not as a right winger where he can predominantly play. But I want to shout him out. Great numbers so far, been a great signing for us. But I just don't think he's been the best around that sort of position, that sort of area. But I want to shout out Mr. Diaby because he's been quality for us so far.
Yeah. Interesting thing on Diaby, just to shout him out. Only one player in the league has more expected assists than Diaby. Like, that is insane. Expected assists, that measures the true quality of your passes. Are your passes getting people into good positions? I think Watkins has been a beneficiary of some of these passes, that like close link-up play on the edge of the box. So, yeah.
Isn't he highest for chance creation? I'm sure he's
not too sure about chance creation, but probably if he's up there for expected assists, surely to chance creation.
Yeah, probably. I think he might be number one for chance creation. You know, so he's had a
Diaby is interesting because he doesn't always look the most fluid on the ball. In time, sometimes his touches can be a bit loose. But in terms of like the end product, he's creating. He's a creative monster,
and he's devastating. He's been devastating when he's had the opportunities. So yeah, definitely shout out Diaby. Right, the one we can be contentious what position he is, and he's injured right now, is Pedro Neto. Most assists in the league so far. He's been ridiculous for Wolves. They must be
Playing in
gutted
a
he's
Wolves
injured.
side.
He must be absolutely gutted he's injured because he's been ridiculous this season so far. But we can debate whether we have him on the right because I know Huang's operated off the left, who could also be a shout from the left. But yeah, we can debate that one. So Neto's getting a mention for sure. I say Saka, but I don't think Saka's been right up there.
Sorry, can I just touch on Neto quickly?
Should we discuss him in the left winger? Because he's not going to make my right winger anyway.
Okay, yeah. So what were you saying, Saka?
Yeah. Saka, I don't. He's got decent.
I don't know. I think Saka's level's so good that anything that's slightly underwhelming looks bad because it's Saka, but he's still putting up.
Yeah, but I think the other two I could put there have been way better than Saka this season so far.
Like he's got 8 goals and assists in 11 games. Like for Saka, normally he matches the games because he's that good. But I still think he's been like pivotal to Arsenal. But I don't disagree with what you're saying. If there's 2 others that you might.
So go on then. Who do you think the 2 options for right wing should be?
Or in my opinion,
yeah, that haven't been mentioned.
I think there's 3. I think you got to say 3.
Put the third in then as well.
For me, the 3 nominations are. If we're assuming, if we've touched on Neto before, if we're saying that we're going to consider him left wing because he's played there as well, that's like one of them. Then my 3 remaining ones would be Salah, Bowen, and Saka.
I think Saka's not even in the conversation with the other 2.
What?
In a minute, nah, not Salah and Bowen. No way, not yet.
What,
not so far this season.
What's your argument for Saka not being close?
I just think Bowen's impact for West Ham has been ridiculous so far, and the goals are right up there as well. I think when I watch West Ham play us, especially, there was only one player. Paqueta was doing bits like here and there, but there was one player I was consistently threatened by in that West Ham side, and he was Jared Bowen. Like he was the most threatening player on that pitch for West Ham, and he was the only one who kept plucking away. Got a fortunate goal, but he was the only one who looked like he was going to do anything in that game. And whenever I watch West Ham, I feel like Jared Bowen's he's their most important player right now. Facts. I think he's been.
So let me do a thought experiment. Would Bowen start for Arsenal over Saka for you?
No, I don't. It's not. I'm not. No, because I don't think it works like that. I just think Bowen's been a better player. I wouldn't say no. I'd just start him over Saka now, but I think he's been a better player. Yeah.
Yeah, I hear it. Bowen's been tremendous. Another thing to touch on though with Saka though, like creatively, I think his numbers are better than Bowen.
But then I think you have to then interpret who they play for and what managers they play for, and David Moyes is not Mikel Arteta.
True, but then you could argue as well. Arsenal face like a deep block each game, and then Saka's their guy to break that down. Whereas Bowen might be affording more space and time because a lot of people aren't going to set up deep to play West Ham.
Yeah, you could say
it's interesting. I think it has both. I think
West Ham are way more rigid in build up, way more rigid, and whereas Arsenal can be more fluid when they attack, and that could restrict Bowen. But Bowen, when he gets the ball, he just looks. He doesn't care. He plays like he doesn't care.
He's been very good. He's been very good. He's starting to become a very consistent Premier League player. He's nimble. He finds himself in the right positions to score. And I mean, he's almost approaching double-digit goals. And I don't even think any of them are penalties. I don't think.
No, Ward-Prowse is penalty taker, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's 8 non-penalty goals in the Premier League, which is just insane.
Did he break the away record as well? Was it?
Yeah, he had was that for West Ham or was that a Premier League one?
It might be Premier League,
I think it might be Premier League,
Yeah, most away goals, consecutive away goals. I think it was 7 games? I think it's something like that. So Bowen's flying. He's been
I think it's a fair argument. I think it's a fair argument. I would not be mad or disagree too much at Bowen or someone saying Bowen's been better than Saka. I still think personally Saka's just been better slightly due to the creative aspect of his game. Like I like players that can combine.
I hear that, but then Arsenal's creative numbers have gone down this season. So
that's a good point as well.
Has he been the Saka last season? No, I don't think so. And I just think Bowen's just been more impactful for his team at the moment. You know what I mean? He's 12 games in, but I think Bowen gets a nod for team of the season so far at right wing. But then I don't think either of them are it because
I don't think either. There's only one guy really that.
Yeah, it's Mo Salah, isn't it?
We're gonna talk about him, Mr. Mo Salah.
Yeah, what you got to say? It's Mr.
Best creator in the league, stats wise.
Yeah.
Best creator in the league. Scoring goals, almost providing a goal or assist almost every single game. Bar one where he was robbed in a Spurs bar disaster where he played a sublime pass for Diaz. Now on Salah, actually, I don't actually think it's been the Salah of old, which is controversial or like doesn't really, which kind of contradicts what we're saying here. Like I think some of his performances haven't been the best. Like I remember the Everton game, I don't think he was good when he got a penalty, last minute transition. Yeah,
he gets 2 goals in the games. He's not good. He get a brace.
He's a difference maker. He's the difference maker. This is why he's paid so much. This is why he's the guy. This is why you could argue he's been the face of the league now. Before Haaland came, for maybe 2 seasons, 3 seasons, Salah, ridiculous goal scoring record. He's going to go double again with goals and assists. I wonder if Haaland's record from last season is going to motivate him more than the goal scoring side. I just think.
And one thing I want to point out with Salah. Salah was a straight up shooter when he first signed for Liverpool. Like Firmino used to drop and it was Mane and Salah who they were the guys getting goals. He'd still create chances, but Salah's role's changed over the last season and a bit. He's now more of a creator with the options they have up top. And he's just a creator as well now. He creates so many chances. And as you said, he's top for chances created. Well, he's like the top creator with all aspects within the league so far. Salah's I
think Nunez's movement as well helps him like illustrate his creative side, like express his personality a bit more on the pitch because Nunez's movement is he just
seamlessly adapted. It's just a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah. So Salah.
Yeah, Salah.
It's gotta be Salah, man. Like. Liverpool are gonna miss him come AFCON time, I think. Badly.
Big time, yeah. Big time.
I just gotta say, I'm admiring the selection so far. Biased, but I'm admiring the team's looking 30. I can't lie.
Team up. Yeah, it's a team.
All right then. Left wing.
We're doing left wing or striker? We're doing left wing, yeah.
One sec. Yeah, we'll go left wing.
Okay. Left wing's hard because has there been a standout left winger? I don't know. Few names. Paqueta has been operating off the left for West Ham. Had a very good season so far for West Ham. Been decent. I put this name here, but they're playing a 2, so it's hard. I put Brian Mbeumo because he's not really been playing off the left.
I'm glad you said that.
I have to mention him.
I was actually thinking we miss Brian Mbeumo because he's a right winger or a striker. So I think we'll talk about him in the striker role.
But he has to get a mention because he's flying this year.
Yeah. We should have mentioned him with the winger, but yeah, we'll mention him with the striker. Yeah, it's called
Jeremy Doku.
See now, Doku. I think Doku is at a disadvantage with his team of the season because I think if he would have played from game week 1, it's not his fault. He got transferred in during the season.
Has he been that good to say he's been the best though?
No, I don't think there's enough archive to say he's been the best. I think it would need maybe like 10 games for him to like truly showcase his talent. But what a breath of fresh air this guy is, man. Like what can't he do? 1v1 ability, different array of skills to beat his man. Can come short, can run in behind, makes the right decision in the box to find a teammate. And Man City are a better club after the signing, I think. I think their fans are fully behind him. Excites players. Some of the quotes, I ain't seen Pep talk like this about a player in a while, man. Like, He's just like make
Saying
the
Amanda
one
said it.
crazy.
Yeah.
Like seems in awe.
Didn't even talk
Like,
about Sane and Sterling like that.
no, no.
He's literally just saying he has all the freedom, and he's like, wow. Yeah, he's impressed with how he's integrated into the side, isn't he? And how he's
And just
taking up his instructions quicker than he
the
thought he would.
instructions part as well. Yeah,
Yeah.
but just
Yeah,
another
so,
player that was linked with Aston Villa, man. Like the Albi's
oh,
been amazing as well. But imagine if we had both or something like
oh,
Duffy coming off the left. Gee, it'd be disgusting.
it'd be
It'd be too.
nuts. It'd be insane. It'd be insane. Another one I want to shout out. Signed last season, and a lot of people were like, "Couldn't believe the price tag." Signed from Everton. I think he's having a really good season so far. It's Anthony Gordon. I think he's been quality for Newcastle, and at points he's been their best player in games for sure. Especially going forward with the injuries they've had as well. You know, with Isaac getting injured, Wilson's had an injuries recent. Anthony Gordon's been the main constant in that Newcastle side, and he's had a really good season. I think he's got six goals, is it so far? Yeah, Anthony Gordon's really impressed me as well for such a young age. You know,
Yeah, he's got 4 goals in the
quality.
league, 2 assists.
That's it, 6 yeah, that's it.
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
he's a cool player, and he can't be too far away from an England call-up, I don't think.
no doubt about it at all. Yeah, so they're my left wing options. I think the left wing's a difficult one because I don't think the standard high quality players are left wing this season. I think the more right wing or strikers. But if you got Pedro Neto, I think if you want to get in the team, because I do think he deserves a slot, can go left wing. But yeah, let me know.
How do you want to? Do you class Heung-min Son in the left wing category? I know he's been playing as a centre forward under Ange. He did start out on the left with Richarlison playing central. Do we put him in this category? Because
it's hard, man.
I know Son's not
I
always
think
like
Son's just at his best as a 9 this season.
Well, I think the data backs you up, to be honest. I don't think you can disagree with that. 8 goals, 1 assist in 12 games. He was struggling on the left in the first 3 games. I mean, Brentford was like one of the worst performances I've seen from Son ever, I think. I don't think he was involved at all. So, what, you want to class him as a striker?
Yeah, because has Jarrod Bowen got the same numbers as Son? Or is he one below goals scored? I think Jarrod Bowen's got similar.
They got identical.
Yeah, and we discounted that for him for the white. I know it's Salah, but I feel like Pedro Neto just deserves it a bit more.
Well, Pedro Neto was my player of the season before injury.
Yeah.
I mean, like, here's a guy who's got the most assists, but even that doesn't do his game justice. Like, you can take on his man 1v1. Devastating down the wing.
He's coming off terroring us. He was terroring us.
Yeah, and I got up close front seat.
Exactly.
He was fucking Dean on that right side, man. But okay, we got.
I think it's Pedro Neto.
We got another comment from Stephen. No, emphatic no to Heung-min Son.
Yeah, I agree.
For left wing before you even class in there. I mean, the data agrees with what Stephen's saying, man.
Yeah.
Son's been way better centrally. Like we spoke about it just a minute ago. Like he was awful left wing. So, you know what, bro? I think it might have to be the Portuguese wizard, man. For Wolverhampton Wanderers. Him doing what he's doing in a Wolves team. Like, just imagine if he was in a better team that created more XG under with better players. Like, scary. It's just a shame he got injured, but I don't think the injury is enough to derail any type of opinion on him. I think the sample size is still there. He put up so many consistently good performances. And as I said, he was my player of the season before that injury.
Yeah. I think he has to be, to be honest. Yeah, Pedro Neto, stick him in.
Like, playing on the left won't phase him at all. He can do on that
for
side.
sure. For me, I think Neto, Salah have really just been the standout wingers. I think Jarrod Bowen's just below that, but those 3 for me have been the standout so far. Right then,
bro. This is it.
Number 9. Do you want to do some names, or do you want me to
go? Yeah, I just want to shout out one name in particular, Dominic Solanke. Like he's a player that's got great close control, knows how to bring his teammates in, can be an outlet to get his team up the pitch. Bournemouth have struggled this season, but let's be real, they would have struggled even more without this guy playing. Hasn't had like a linear career path. Always rated for England, won tournaments, I think, for that England side. But I think now we're finally seeing just like how good he can be. And yeah, his goal scoring has been decent this season. So yeah, shout out Dom Solanke. He's not good enough to be the starter for me, but deserves flowers, definitely.
For sure. 6 goals so far this season, isn't it? Solanke as well. Got that brace against Newcastle last game. He was outstanding that game. So yeah, good shout.
Yeah, any strikers you want to mention?
Well, I think I should have mentioned Hwang for left wing as well. You know, putting it there, but Hwang, good numbers as well for Wolves this season. Surprising numbers.
Decent, yeah.
Yeah, surprising. So he gets a shout out.
I'm not the biggest Hwang fan, I'll be honest, but like you gotta respect the numbers, I think.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying Nicholas Jackson. I mean, his numbers are good, but
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
I'm not saying Nicholas Jackson.
Let's speak on his numbers though, because his
numbers are a joke. Him and Darwin Núñez this season, as Darwin Núñez was last season, the non-penalty XG is just a joke, and
it's gonna come. It's gonna come eventually. It's gonna land.
Yeah,
I think
it would.
It's gonna go on. But yeah, Jackson has.
I don't think he can have. Yeah, and same with Darwin. I mean, just limited minutes. And yeah, just the minutes thing. I think you have to be playing more minutes than that.
Yeah,
but when
think
Darwin's on the pitch, you know it's a madness.
I don't think Jackson's like close control has been as good as maybe it could have been, or like to the level that we know he can play at, and even his link-up play.
I can't lie. In pre-season, I thought he was going to be a madness. Do you remember in pre-season?
He was balling
because he was playing in the tournament. We were us and Newcastle, Brighton, Brentford were in, and he looked ridiculous. He was finishing his chances and including all that build-up play within that. So yeah, I think it might click for Jackson. I think it's the first season in the Prem, so yeah, it's an interesting one. Julian Alvarez, has to get a shout out. Playing as a second striker or the top of the midfield, but I think class more of a striker really. How he's playing so close to Haaland, really stepped up since De Bruyne has been out. Got some big goals as well. Kind of performances have dipped off a little as of late, but yeah, Julian Alvarez definitely deserves.
Do you enjoy watching Alvarez play football? Like, what's your opinion? Like, when you're watching his game, what do you think he's good at, and what do you think he lacks?
I think he's devastating. I think he's in the mold of a devastating striker. Say, you might say a Son, but then I think he can play a bit more than Son as well. I just think Alvarez is really good, and I think, I don't know, as in another side, say if he was playing for a Liverpool, he might look even better with how their style of play is compared to City's. But then he can still create as well. I've seen him play some ridiculous balls this season for City and create some mad chances.
His passing can be good at times, I think his general ball retention can sometimes lack on transition a bit, but in terms of like making them killer passes, like it's decent.
Yeah, I think he's a quality player, and I think he'd stand up because of Haaland's overshadows him. I think he'd stand out more at other clubs, to be honest.
Yeah,
I really do.
But
yeah.
Another player I'm going to mention, we touched on him earlier, Brian Mbeumo. He can play as a right winger type player when Brentford do set up sometimes, or like he can play as a 2, play as a striker if they are playing like a 3-5-2, etc. But 6 goals, 2 assists for Mbeumo. All his underlying numbers, like his expected goals is 7. And he's got 6, so he's underperforming his expected, and he's still like putting up crazy chances. Creatively, he's good. Bit deceptive, I think. I think he's not the quickest, but he can like get past the player easily. His footwork's good.
His age surprised me. I realised he's 24. I thought he was so much older than that.
The hairline, isn't it?
It's the hairline. That's deceiving. That's what's
deceiving. That's the deceiving. Like he looks 30, 32.
But yeah, 24, man. It's another one from Brentford.
So much potential.
It's mad in it, that team, that Watkins and Benrahma was a championship front three. That's insane.
Were
That's
they the
so
front three then?
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Were they the front three, or was it?
Yeah, I think it was Mbeumo. Before Watkins left, I think it was Mbeumo, Watkins, Benrahma. And
Mad.
then Watkins and Benrahma went, and it was time for Mbeumo to step up. And they got Tony.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Brentford just. That's what I mean about
Scary,
Collins
bro.
earlier.
Scary.
When Brentford sign you with the way that club set up with their day, like they're just knowing really are they gonna miss.
Good side, man. But yeah, Brian and Mbeumo for sure. With Tony's absence, really stepped up. And yeah, and Wister's played his part in key moments. Even the on Mope scored the other day, but yeah, less said about that. Go on then,
Any comments
Heung-min Son.
Before Son, any comments on Wilson? Do you think Wilson deserves praise or?
Good amount of goals, yeah. I think Jimenez actually got decent total so far, but just availability. But can't deny they scored some goals, those two have. I think Wilson's on 7 so far for the season, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think so the numbers are right up there.
He always finds a way, Wilson, even if he doesn't play that much. Like
he's just so good in the box, scoring goals. Scoring goals is his craft. He's very good at scoring goals. It's just the rest of his game I'm not so sure about, but give him a chance, he buries it. But I don't think he's done enough all-round game to be in this. For me, anyway. Yeah.
One more shout out, not even trolling on this. Big up Colton Morris, 4 goals and assists in 12 games for Luton. Like, this guy's a serious outlet, man. Like, I genuinely think if Luton go down, this guy can still like play for a bottom half Prem side. I'm convinced of it.
Possibly.
Possibly. He's another one that looks like he's 32, 34. He's 27.
Yeah.
He's 27. I like Morris, man. I think Morris can definitely play for.
I was quite disappointed with his performance against us. I don't think he really got himself about
isolated, weren't they? Yeah, he was isolated a bit.
Yeah.
I think. So, Son?
Yeah, go on. Son.
Yeah, I'll let you speak on Son.
Now, go on, you speak on Son, because I think there's two others who have been better.
5 men at centre forward, but Son he puts up the goals. But I don't know, does it? He just doesn't feel like he does, like, he's not like a Salah type influence in terms of like the all-round player, I don't think. He's a good ball striker. He just somehow like finds a way to get the goals, and you just can't really hate on 8 goals so far this season.
Yeah.
But I just think with Son, creatively, could you argue that he lacks?
Yeah.
Like less than 2 expected assists so far this season. Like, if you're a talisman in a Spurs side, would you expect more creatively from that side? I don't know. Maddison takes on the large brunt of it, but without Maddison now, does some of that responsibility fall onto Son as well?
Yeah,
I think Son.
You have to.
What you got to say on Son?
Just an absolute. He's just such a. I don't know. How would you? He's an enigma, Son is. Just the way he plays. Like, he can be so devastating at times. And he can be out of the game for so long or having a really poor game, and then he'll just smash one from like 25, 30 yards. Or just hit one from the corner of the box. You're like, yeah, this is what Son does. Real enigma.
He's two-footedness as well. Like, have you ever seen a player that two-footed?
That's so support like that. Yeah, he's mad.
Got another comment from Stephen. Big up Stephen, active in the chat, showing support. Son's got very little outside his goal scoring play, and his output is still meaty, which basically means like average. 0.35 XG per 90 is less than Awoni, not in the debate for me. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
I don't think Son is. I think we've mentioned him, but I don't think he's in out the other strikers we're going to say. But
no,
you got to respect the goals. For sure.
Okay. I think we've sold it enough now. I think we've got to the final part, man. The missing piece of the jigsaw, man, of this super team that we've built up. So yeah, two guys I think vying for this final spot in the team. Do you want to do the honors of
Yeah,
saying who the guys are?
it's Haaland or Watkins. Simple.
Ali
It's one of those
Gunshot or
two.
Watkins and
It's one
Erling
of them
Haaland.
two. Now, what do you go for? Do you go for top goal scorer, or do you go for
Yeah.
overall impact?
The boring pick, the top goal scorer. Do you go for the guy that Haaland scored again? What? Nah, he's so bored. Or do you go for the guy that, for me,
Okay, so
it's an
goal.
absolute joy again this season so far. I mean, he's got 11 goals and assists in 12 games.
That's his third. Salah's second. Haaland's first.
Yeah, and I just think Watkins is so influential to this team. So let's just talk about Watkins, because people, even our own fans were like guilty of saying like he wasn't playing too good. But listen, Watkins, he's an athlete. Yeah, he's gonna hold the ball up. He's gonna run channels, but his role would be more suited to staying central and creating space for others. He will drop deep to receive that pass off power and get us up the pitch. And he always does something in the game. Even when he wasn't scoring, he was either winning a penalty or getting an assist.
1-2 penalties this season as well. Yeah,
he's a two-way player as well. Defensively, he's solid. He can press well. He knows how to follow instructions, and the fact that he's combining both the goals and assists, like man, his creativity has been good this season. Playing for a worse side in Villa than City, I think any staunch Aston Villa fan would agree that Man City have a better squad, better caliber of players.
Yeah,
I just think I'm a romantic. I think the argument for Watkins is a bit of romance to it. The fact that he's had doubters as well. The fact that his non-penalty XG is still so high. So with the goals he's put up, he scored 6, and he's expected to score more. Like, that shows good movement. Like, okay, it's annoying that he might miss a chance, but he's always going to persevere. His mentality is good.
So the one thing I'd go with Haaland, I think his shot conversion's a lot better than Watkins.
Yeah.
So if you look at big chances missed this season, Haaland's missed 13, Watkins missed 12. But then Haaland's shot conversion's 22%. Watkins is 12. So we can say Man City create more chances and a better team, obviously, but in terms of conversion rate, Haaland's been much better. But then Haaland's not as involved in the rest of the play as a Watkins is with the 5 assists, winning 2 penalties. So yeah, so it's tough, man. It's tough.
I've got another comment from Steve. Do you guys think Ali has been as influential outside of goals and assists as in previous seasons? Feel like there's less on his shoulders as an outlet playing in the channels and heat maps back it up. I'm just going to touch on this first. I agree. I think under Dean Smith and Gerrard, Ali had way more responsibility, but I don't think this was a positive thing. He was forced to run the channels. He was forced to then hold the ball up. He was forced to then score the goals. He was forced to then create. And like, you get to like the 70th, 80th minute and he looks out of breath, and you can see why. Like, the responsibility that was forced upon him. Emery's come in, decided that he needs to stay more central. And at times, we know Villa fans, we've been in the stadiums that can get frustrated. It's like, why is Ali not moving? But it's instructions from the manager. So I think I do agree with Steve. Like, he's not as active compared to previous managers, but I don't actually think that's a bad thing. I don't think that's less quality from the player either. I think that's him just following instructions from the coach more. What about you?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I agree. I think he plays in between the lines of the box now. It's more than going to the channels, for sure. I was trying to touch on Haaland though, because you might feel like we're disrespecting him a bit here.
Yeah. People here like, what are these Villa fans?
He's still the top goal scorer.
I've made my argument for Watkins.
Yeah, like, he's still a joke of a player.
Let's hear some Haaland.
Absolute joke. 13 goals this season in the league so far. That's over 1 per game. Just continued where he left off last season. He's just an absolute joke. Like, the highest expected goals on target. GA is the highest in the league as well with 16. So yeah, so he's got 3 assists as well.
His creative numbers are good.
Just a joke. Yeah, he's got those up. Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough between those two because you can't. Sometimes it's Haaland, isn't it? Like,
I think there's a phenomenon in the NBA when they vote for MVP, and it's called like voter fatigue. If a player's always so good, like fans can kind of get bored and like try and go for like a new option just to like freshen
lose
up
the
a bit.
appeal. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. And I think the same's happening with Haaland. Like, I mean, it's a similar thing with like the Ballon d'Or debate, isn't it? With Messi, like you can make such a massive argument for Messi and then the World Cup and the romance of it, and he finally like completed football. And I had no problems with the argument of Messi winning the Ballon d'Or, but in the season Haaland's had, like, how could you not give it to him?
Yeah,
he's crazy. Like his goal scoring, his goal scoring is always going to be fine. What do you think of his outside the goals and assists?
I think he's getting better, but I still don't think he's there. I don't think he's there yet. But then I sometimes think, does he need to do that for Pep Guardiola's side and where they want him to be? Like, you can go on about saying, does he create or, provide extra outside of the box? Do they really need that? Because you notice Pep he'll just play out wide, spread the wingers, and just occupy all the spaces, and he's just trying to create space for Haaland with the 5 behind him. So sometimes when it's stated that Haaland doesn't, apply into the build-up play with City or chance creation, I think sometimes, it's not really his job. so it's tough. It's tough, man. It's a tough one. I think we give it Watkins now because it'll probably be Haaland till the end of the season.
I think it's funny. It's a debate between, like, I don't know how to describe the phrase. It's like the obvious choice or the romantic choice, I think.
Yeah.
But I think we're Villa fans. Let's back our guy, man. I don't think
Watkins in.
If someone wants to say Watkins has been one of the best strikers in the league this season, I don't think you can disagree with that.
No, I don't think there is an argument.
I don't think someone can outrightly come and say, "What? No way, Watkins."
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, like you can discuss it, but I don't think there's like just shun the opinion. I don't think so. Anyway. Yeah, put Watkins in.
We're going Watkins. Shout out Haaland. One of the best goal scorers we're ever going to see in our lifetime. Let's be real.
And we'll be right up there for player of the season again. But put in Watkins. I've seen Haaland have a few bad games, so put Watkins in.
Man. Oh, man. That's it, bro.
Great side.
That's our team of the season, man. Let's just go through it again. Alisson in goal, Udogie left back, Van Dijk centre back, Saliba centre back, Trippier right back, Declan Rice defensive midfielder, Maddison and Douglas Luiz as the centre mids, Pedro Neto on the left, Salah on the right, Oliver George Arthur Watkins up front. Happy with that?
Yeah, happy with that. And let us know in the comments as well. Let us know if there's anything.
Please tell us what you disagree
in this team. I don't think there will be, but let us know.
Let us know what if anything discuss. Yeah, but I think we'll call that on our team of the season, bro.
Yeah, it's been a great show, bro. Really great show. Happy with that. Can't wait for the weekend now for the Prem to be back because international break has been dry.
Yeah, we'll have a pre-match for Spurs coming on Thursday, so look out for that as well. Again, if you could like and subscribe to the channel. This has been a long one, but it's been an enjoyable one. And just share the content, even if it's Villa fans, non-Villa fans. We'd just love to have more subscribers and build a community on that.
Thanks for everyone messaging in through the stream as well, Stephen in particular.
Big up Stephen.
Thanks, man. Just gets a conversation.
Amazing, enjoyable stream. Nice to hear some properly coherent debate. Thank you, man. Thank you,
Appreciate
Stephen.
that.
Appreciate that, man. And that's it, yeah. See you later, bro.
Love, bro. In a bit.